thought today would be just another ordinary day until the entire village suddenly lost power. No electricity, no Wi-Fi, no laptop. I couldn't work, couldn't cook, couldn't even stay inside the house. Just one unexpected power outage, and my entire day was thrown into chaos. Ouch. I just banged my hand pretty hard against the partition. That definitely woke me up. Hello, I'm new. I thought today would be a quiet day working from home, but my plans suddenly changed. By 9 a.m., I need to be at the wedding studio to meet clients, help them try on wedding dresses, and provide in-person consultations. That gives me less than an hour to get ready. I was home alone. By the time I heard the front door close, my roommate had already left for work. Every morning, I start my day with a glass of plain water. I've heard that warm water is healthier, but I still haven't gotten used to drinking it. The fridge is almost empty today. All that's left is some milk. I'll pick up some vegetables and other ingredients at the market after work so I can cook lunch and dinner. Oh, my pair of sandals are so dirty after a day in the rain. I need to clean them right away. I'll scrub them clean before going to work. I'll scrub my slippers with laundry soap to get them clean and smelling fresh. Many Vietnamese people wear sandals more often than shoes, especially in warm climates. They're affordable, easy to clean, and practical during the rainy season. If you pay attention, you'll notice sandals left outside many Vietnamese homes. My room is so small that even washing a pair of sandals requires a little creativity. The bathroom is only large enough to stand and shower. Sitting down is almost impossible, so I clean my sandals right outside the doorway. It only takes about 10 minutes, and my sandals look clean again. Most people wouldn't film moments like this, but to me, this is what real life looks like. Before finishing, I need to clean the bathroom and put everything back in its original place. Everything's done. Every time I finish one task, I feel motivated to move on to the next. Oh, and look at my feet. One toenail has completely lost its nail polish, and the others have grown out so much that only half the old polish is left. It looks pretty funny. I'll fix them when I have some free time. My Crocs haven't dried yet, so I'm wearing these brown clogs to work today. These clogs are old, and the glue is coming undone. Many Vietnamese people don't throw things away if they still work, and so do I. At home, we always keep simple repair supplies like shoe glue, needles, and thread. If something can be fixed, we fix it instead of replacing it. Today, I'm repairing these clogs so they can last a little longer. From sandals to cooking pots, electric fans, and even motorbikes, many Vietnamese families repair before replacing. It's a habit shaped by generations who learned not to waste what they already had. Repair culture is still alive in Vietnam. Skilled craftsmen can restore sandals, bicycles, and motorbikes with just a few simple tools. It saves money and reduces waste at the same time. There was a time when I earned much more than I do today. But life taught me that the value of an object isn't whether it's new or old, it's whether it still serves a purpose. Just a few minutes and a little glue. Now, these sandals are ready to walk with me for many more months. While waiting for the glue to dry, I'll change my clothes before going to the studio. I think I did a pretty professional job. The glue dried nicely without spilling over the edges, and the clogs feel sturdy again. You'd hardly guess they were ever broken. As soon as I stepped outside, I noticed that several potted plants had died. It was my fault. I accidentally used too much fertilizer, and they slowly withered away. When I get my salary, I'll buy 4 new plants to replace them. My roommate never asked me to, but I know it was my mistake, and I want to make it right. Everything was normal until I walked into the studio. It was past 9 o'clock, and the studio doors still weren't fully opened. This is the studio's electrical system. Of course, I wouldn't touch it.
I tried turning on the lights and fans, but nothing happened.
Without electricity, the fitting room becomes almost completely dark. It would be difficult for any bride to try on dresses or do her makeup. Just as I was wondering what to do, my phone buzzed. The entire commune was experiencing a scheduled power outage. The bride postponed her fitting until tomorrow, and the studio closed for the morning. Unexpectedly, I had the day off.
So I'll go home and enjoy some relaxing time, wash my hair, cook dinner, and watch a movie for a bit. But I quickly realized having the day off wasn't the biggest inconvenience. My boarding house also uses an electric rolling door. Without power, I couldn't get inside. No Wi-Fi, no laptop, and no way to cook because everything I needed was inside.
So from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., I won't be able to enter the house? If the whole town loses power, what happens to the local market? I decided to find out. I walked past the chicken stall, and the smell of chicken manure was terrible. The first thing I noticed was how quiet the market had become. Not because of the weather, but because so many businesses rely on electricity. Many vegetable stalls were covered with tarps. Some shops were locked as owners took an early break. The market remained open, but life moved much slower. Fresh meat was still available, but no one could grind it. Without electricity, the meat grinder simply stopped working. Live fish stalls were mostly closed. Without oxygen pumps, keeping fish alive becomes difficult. So many vendors sold frozen or dried fish instead. The counter was also locked up like a sturdy iron box. I thought I could at least grab a late breakfast, but it wasn't that easy. Most breakfast stalls had already closed. Glass display cases were covered with cardboard to keep dust away, and large cooking pots were secured with chains before the owners left. There was no electricity, so the door had to be pulled open manually. This market is usually crowded, yet a few hours without electricity completely changed the rhythm of this small town. It reminded me how important power is for small businesses. A few hours without electricity isn't a disaster, but today reminded me that behind every power outlet is someone's livelihood. The butcher, the fish seller, the breakfast vendor, the wedding studio, and mine too. sometimes only when everything stops do we realize how beautifully a small town normally works.
Without electricity, I couldn't cook either. So today's lunch was simply a takeaway meal from the market.
With the power still out, many people couldn't cook at home and came here for ready-made meals. Business was so good that almost everything had sold out. Only two options remained: a fried chicken thigh with fish sauce or grilled pork ribs. I chose the chicken. For only $1.50, I had a hot, balanced meal without having to cook anything myself. Buying a boxed meal is really just an emergency option for me. Normally, that same $1.50 is enough to buy rice, vegetables, and eggs, which I can cook into both lunch and dinner. This is a very typical Vietnamese lunchbox. Steamed rice, a savory dish, vegetables, soup in a separate bag, fish sauce, and a plastic spoon. Everything is ready to eat. Here's something interesting. Lunchboxes in Vietnam aren't just for busy people. They're part of everyday working culture. Office workers, drivers, factory workers, and students all rely on lunchboxes. Within minutes, they have a complete meal and can get back to work. Vietnam has many styles of affordable meals: office lunches, set meals, budget rice shops, and takeaway boxes. Prices usually range from $1.50 to $3, depending on the location and dishes. Vietnamese people rarely eat rice by itself. We usually enjoy it with a bowl of hot soup and a little fish sauce for extra flavor. After eating, you simply dispose of the packaging properly. No dishes, no kitchen cleanup. It saves a lot of time for busy people. But if you eat lunchboxes every day, are they really cheaper than cooking? For me, not really. I'm trying to save every dollar while rebuilding my life. Cooking is still much cheaper, especially when living alone. After lunch, I honestly didn't know what to do next. The bride postponed her appointment because of the power outage, and my online work had to stop as well. Now it's just me in this large, quiet studio. The hardest part isn't the boredom, it's the heat of a Vietnamese afternoon. Without air conditioning or fans, they suddenly feel much heavier than usual. My hair is also overdue for a wash. I think many women understand this feeling. When your hair starts getting oily, you just don't feel comfortable anymore. I wanted to take a nap too, but it wasn't as easy as I thought. I tried lying down for a few minutes, but it was simply too hot. Days without electricity really remind you how important a fan or air conditioner can be. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't being too busy, it's having too much free time. I decided to go outside. If you walk outside at 1 p.m. in Vietnam, you'll see a completely different side of daily life. The market has started to get crowded with vendors selling food for the evening. One thing I noticed during the power outage was that there were more children at the market. With no TV or internet at home, many parents brought their kids along while they went shopping. The power outage affected more than just households. Many businesses, including motorcycle repair shops, laundromats, electrical repair stores, and auto garages, had to close because their equipment couldn't operate without electricity. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little stingy with myself. So today, I'll show you one of the most popular local services that many tourists never discover for $1.50. In Vietnam, just $1.50 gets me a full shampoo, neck and shoulder massage, blow dry, and even a facial cleanse if I want. Sounds unbelievable? Vietnam has hair salons everywhere. Premium salons usually charge $3 to $10 per visit. But this small neighborhood shop is my favorite. For only $1.50, the service is surprisingly good. Many Vietnamese people don't come here just for a haircut. They come simply to relax after work. My favorite part is that I don't have to do anything. I simply lie down, close my eyes, and let someone else take care of everything. They shampoo twice, rinse carefully, and gently massage my scalp. I almost fall asleep every time. Then comes the neck and shoulder massage. Sitting in front of a computer every day makes my shoulders stiff. Just 10 minutes later, my whole body feels lighter. That's probably why this service is so popular in Vietnam. It's not only about clean hair, it's about giving your body a chance to rest. Throughout the massage, she kept asking if I was comfortable, whether the pressure was right, and if any part of my body felt sore. I really appreciated how caring and attentive she was. Just look at her hands. Every movement is smooth yet firm enough to reach the muscles underneath. She works carefully across my scalp, neck, and shoulders, pressing key pressure points with surprising precision. Within minutes, I can feel the tension in my shoulders melting away. Many Vietnamese people spend long hours working on computers, phones, or doing physical labor. So this kind of massage isn't just about beauty, it's about recovery. After it's finished, my hair feels lighter, and so does my mind. Some days, I don't need anything extraordinary. Clean hair, a comfortable chair, and 30 quiet minutes are enough to recharge.
Bạn đeo khẩu trang à? Ủa bình thường sao cúp điện nhà bạn có điện á?
Nhà mình có năng lượng mặt trời. Nhà mình bắt năng lượng phun to nhiều phun để tưới luôn.
The power still hasn't come back, and I still can't return to work. But this short break has made me feel much better. Tonight, I had nowhere to go. But that small inconvenience gave my roommate and me a meaningful evening and allowed us to experience one of the most authentic aspects of Vietnamese life that tourists rarely get to see. Hello again. It's me. In Vietnam, riverside restaurants like this are commonly called Quan Bơ Kê. They're rarely luxurious. Just plastic tables, simple chairs, and warm lights. Yet they're almost always full. Vietnamese people love dining outdoors at night because the breeze from the river makes the evening much more comfortable. We ordered a plate of fried rice for about $2 and a small hot pot for $5, enough for both of us. In Vietnam, hot pot isn't just food. It's an excuse to spend more time together. People chat, share ingredients, and enjoy the meal slowly. That's why dinner often lasts much longer than expected.
Nướng tiêu.
I finally asked my roommate something I'd been thinking about. If I only have a small amount of money, should I try selling products on TikTok? She smiled and said, "You already know how to make videos. That's an advantage many people don't have." She reminded me to focus on my own strengths instead of comparing myself to others. My favorite part is watching people. One table has 3 generations of a family. Another has a young couple. Further away is a group of coworkers after work. In Vietnam, dinner is an important family tradition. No matter how busy life gets, many families still try to gather for dinner. That's why places like this are always filled with laughter. She told me she admired the fact that I kept making YouTube videos even though the income isn't stable yet. Some videos take days to finish. Sometimes it's exhausting, but every kind comment gives me motivation to continue. I still have so many stories about Vietnam that I want to share with the world. Conversations like this are common in Vietnam. People don't gather just to eat. They gather to check on each other, share worries, and encourage one another. Maybe that's why a simple hot pot is worth much more than its price. The sky grew darker, and the breeze became cooler. We still couldn't go home because the electricity hadn't returned. But sometimes, small inconveniences create the most memorable evenings. Without the power outage, we'd probably still be sitting separately in our small room, staring at our phones. Life doesn't always go as planned. But in Vietnam, a good meal, someone to talk to, and a cool riverside breeze can turn a difficult day into a peaceful ending. How about where you live? Do people still gather with family for dinner like this?
Tâm linh.
Even though it was already dark, it was still very crowded here. For me, this was a relaxing and meaningful evening.
Gần như là full rồi đấy.
Em xem nó có bao nhiêu nhân viên.
Hỏi có là dễ không?
Nghĩ đến đi.
Nó sẽ có một khu là nó sẽ có đường đấy tầm mấy người á.
Bao nhiêu? Chưa được về ai vậy?
Chẳng hạn như là hồi hôm em ăn ở bên trong là nó sẽ còn tầm 4 đứa đứng bên trong, là nó sẽ quanh quẩn ở cái khu đấy. Còn bên ngoài là lúc nãy tự nhiên 2 đứa ở gần khu mình là nó sẽ quanh 2-3 đứa gì đấy khu ở bên ngoài. Cứ tầm 2-3 đứa là nó sẽ canh tầm 5 bàn đi.
Có một đứa canh 2 bàn.